It's not showing me again. Okay. Ah, here it comes.
Sada smarami dhriti sanskuraratmatattvam Satchit sukham paramahamsa gatim turiyam Yasvapna jagara sushuptam avaiti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham Nacha bhuta sangaha Tad brahma nishkalamaham Nacha bhuta sangaha. I meditate always within my heart on the effulgent, self-effulgent Atman, the existence, knowledge, bliss absolute, the goal of the great ascetics, the transcendent and the eternal, who is beyond the states of waking, dreaming, and being sleep. And verily that indivisible Brahman, and not a combination of material elements. It's quite some time. We having this study. I just recapitulate a few of the points. It has been told the cause of our creatureliness, the jivatva, is due to the ignorance. We, the heirs of immortal bliss, perfect, eternal, immortal, consider ourselves as weak, ignorant, unhappy, trying our best to make ourselves happy and intelligent, and crave for a long life. This is due to the ignorance, avidya, anadya vidya. Long ignorance of undated. We do not know when this ignorance started. And all this confusion disappears once when we realize that our true nature is infinite. Just as all the confusion about the directions disappear, vanish, when at the dawn of the sun, at the dawn of knowledge, all our confusion, ignorance of ourselves is destroyed. We see that we are not material creatures. We pervade everything, we contain everything in us, and we are in everything. That is the true connectedness. In essence, truly, I embrace everything in my bosom. And available, vast is my personality, which knows no boundaries, no limit, everywhere, and such an exalted state. And this exalted state is not attained very easily. So this picture, the book gives the picture of Sri Rama crossing the ocean, killing all demons, and then being united with Sita, the very embodiment of peace. So we, Jivas, limited creatures, have to fight, cross the ocean of the illusion, fight the demons of attachment and aversion. Aversion too is a demon. And then finally, we realize our true nature and we revel in its joy. So, in this way, we had studied, and at last we came to Jivan Mukti, that is liberation, the state of freedom while still living in the body. The Vedanta does not prescribe post-mortem freedom. Here and now. If I can't feel the freedom here and now, what's the guarantee, what's the proof that such a state is there? So many of the Vedantins believe are in favor of Jivan Mukti. There are certain limitations to it, but those limitations doesn't bar your feeling of your immenseness, your knowledge, and you can tap into the bliss which is with the fountainhead of which is within you. So that it does not bar, though you still live in the body. So how does a person who still stays in the body yet has a sense of freedom? How? So we are going to explore the state of Jivan Mukta. Why are we reading all this? You may say, what does it matter, Mataji? We are still in ignorance. We only want the means. What is the point of knowing how well Jivan Mukta enjoys? How about it be watering? No. The scriptures say that so that it will become or it will induce us to attain, to work towards this. So it is an inducement, you can say. If we know that this is what Jivan Mukta enjoys, so at least we may try. If we have no idea of anything, so why on earth are we going to try? Just grab what is available right in front of you. Why bother all those things which we are not sure? Some people say, you are Brahman, Atman. Good heavens, here is a treasure Brahman. Yeah, because we don't want to put the effort to understand. You put a beans today, plant it, a seed, within 3 weeks you get a sprout, and within 6 weeks you have your fruit. If you put a coconut tree, you have to wait 8 years, 10 years. And if you put sandal, 80 years you have to wait, maybe. Only then you will get a bar. This stuff. So it takes greater the things, greater the effort which we have to put at a time too. So patience, perseverance, and effort are necessary for all this. Simply if a lion opens its mouth and says, no animal will come into its mouth. It has to work hard, hunt, and then get its meal. So if we want liberation and we say, we'll read some books and quote some authors, that won't help us. Hard work of what? Negating your own body and mind. You should be there enough to negate the body and its cravings, mind and its vagaries. Then there is some chance. Because these are the only obstacles. There's nothing else apart from that. Swamiji says, you put the hand on your eyes and cry, it's darkness, darkness. Let go, open and see, the truth is there. I'm pervaded by Brahman, within and without. Just I don't recognize. This has been our being. Anyway, now let's come to the verse number 51. Upadhistopi tadharmai alipto vyomavanyunihi sarvavin mudhavatishte asakto vayuvaccharet. Though associated with upadhis, though associated with upadhis, he the contemplative one is undefiled by their traits. Like the sky, he remains unaltered under all conditions. Like a dumb person, he moves about unattached like the wind. So there's a state of Jivan Mukta is described. How does a Jivan Mukta function? There are two standpoints, if it are we call it a standpoint. One is subjective, one is from the world. As far he himself is concerned, he has the first-hand experience of his own nature, which is so evident, so obvious. And for him, Swamiji depicts the whole universe and its activities are, and all his experiences so far are like paintings on a canvas. They have no reality. His very experience is so profound that everything he looks like a painting, pictures. But to us, there's a question. He just behaves like us. He has hunger, he has thirst, he feels cold. So how can we detect? So this study is from the point of ignorant people, not from the point of a Jivanmukta himself. So he is living amidst all the agents. What are the agents? The body, the mind, the intellect, the ego, all things are, the vast line is there, big list. And just because he is living in he has realized himself, it's not that he will go and get rid of his body. There are, of course, few aspirants who are impatient, who don't want the body mind to be an obstacle to their continuous experience of their own self. So they just keep it up. They just keep it. You can't call it a suicide. It's not a suicide. They have no need of it. Sri Ramakrishna says they make Ayurvedic medicine. And it's a mixture of gold and minerals, things like that. Makaradvaja. And it is kept in a beautiful bottle, well sealed, and then there's a period of time it has to be in that way. And when the medicine has been worked out, it has worked itself and it is ready, and then the Kaviraj, he slowly breaks the bottle. There's no need of the bottle anymore. The purpose of the bottle was only to make Makaradvaja the medicine. And once the medicine is made, get rid of the bottle. Sri Ramakrishna says people dig wells with spades and rope and all that. And once that is made, some people put it in the well itself. Don't need anymore, so little. But some people keep it aside. Maybe it will be of some use to others. So a Jivan Mukta will utilize his body and mind, provided it helps somebody. He doesn't go here, look, I have realized, come and take the benefit of me. No, he won't call. He doesn't even advertise. You're coming. So he has no conventions for him. That is why he is not at all attached. Like Vyomavan Dishti, just like space, he is there. There might be the God pain, he may be terminally ill too, but he doesn't feel, oh, this is the end of me, what am I to do? No, such that he will not be overwhelming experience. Everything, even the terrible loss will not be overwhelming for him. That's the advantage. It's not that he doesn't feel it, he might feel it, but it will not overwhelm him because the experience of his nature is so profound that all the experiences get digested in it. And Sarvabhin, he doesn't advertise. Here I have realized the infinite, come on, you can take the benefit of me. No. his very presence will invite the right type of people. Those who are ready, they will come unasked, uncalled. That's why he doesn't advertise himself. There is no pretensions. He doesn't want to show off himself. So under all circumstances, he remains unattached, like wind. Some people may even consider him stupid, good for nothing. He's of no consequence. But he's all knowledge, all light within, and all dullness. We have many examples of such. We have Sridharaprana, knower of Brahman, dull person. The king Rahuguna was going, they needed the palanquin, they needed a person to carry it. So he said, hey, here, there's a well-built man simply sitting like a rock. Hey, come here, carry this palanquin. He came. He didn't tell, how dare you call me? You know, I'm the knower of Brahman. No, nothing. He came and he carried on his shoulder, but he was very careful in walking so that he might not stamp a frog or a creature, little creatures. So the palanquin was shaking. So the king got disturbed. He said, who is that? Oh, this person. No, what's the matter with you? Seems to be very good, healthy, but why are you not able to carry? Then, who are you? When you poke, then the honey comes out. So, then came the knowledge. Then Rahuguna fell at his feet. This person is a great person and I have taken the service from him. But he was not at all worried. So there is no showing off, remains quite dull. People can easily mistake him. But free, ever free. And then, does it seem to be always like that? No. There's a time when the body will fall. So that's being explained. Upadhi vilayad Vishnu nirvishesham vishen munihi jale jalam priyadhyomni tejasya yatha vayatha. On the destruction of the Upadhis, he, the contemplative one, is totally absorbed in Vishnu, the all-pervading spirit, like water in water, space in space, and light in light. That's a beautiful state. Now, two types of freedom have been presented to us. One is freedom while still living in the body. That is called Jivan Mukti. The other is Videha Mukti, free from the body. Now, this is the Videha Mukti state. So this, for an embodied person, there are three types of karmas. Most of you have studied it. It's not, I'm not telling you something new. Three types of karmas we all have. One is the accumulated karma, sanchita karma. The karma that is being worked out, arabdha karma, and which are karma which we are going to make in future, agami karma. When this aspirant has worked on himself, then when he realizes his true nature in the fire of knowledge, that vast accumulated karmas, the bags and bags and bags of karmas gets burnt. And of course, he doesn't have the doership. I am not the doer. I am non-doing, akriya. I'm not doing, akarta, actionless spirit. Hence, whatever even the karma he does, because there is no ego, there is no accumulation of karma. Hence, there is no new karmas are made. Because the yogi knows the prakriti evacha karmani, kriyamani sarvashaha, yapashyati atmanam akartaram sapashyati. Everything is done by prakriti. I am akarta, non-doer. I am the all-pervading spirit. he sees about himself. This is the perspective. This is the idea he has about himself. So naturally, he doesn't have the doership, and there is no karma for him. But back at which he has brought it to you, he just cannot throw away. He is not a logic person. Throw it away. No. You have to work it out. You have to finish it. And as long as you don't finish, this body will not fall. So you have to work. You have to stay. And such a person who has worked so much on himself has tremendous patience, tremendous calmness. Whatever happens, everything is worked out on the body. The mind is crystal clear. Nothing is an obstruction to his experience of his true nature. So now was the obstacle was the body, the mind, and the intellect, and the great ego. And that has gone absolutely unobstructed experience of his own self is there. Hence, whatever happens, he just abides by it. He just accepts, endures it. In our language, I don't know whether it is an endurance or anything. Whatever it depends upon the very clearness of his experience, the profundity of his experience, because there is ranges to it. That is why in Brahma Jnanis we have got Taratama, superlative, comparative, positive degrees we have got. The degree of his experience will only show how much he can endure or how much he can ignore the karmas. Hence, once that body falls off, there's nothing more. He becomes one with the all-pervading reality. Vishnu. Vishnu means all-vyapakatvaditi Vishnu. That being, that reality which pervades everything is called as Vishnu. Vishnu is not the Shankaracharya Padma. We are not speaking about that Vishnu. One of the three deities. But here all-pervading spirit. How? Just like three examples are given. Water in water, space in space, light in light. If we immerse a pot in the lake, there's a division. The water is in the pot, the water is outside the pot. Supposing the pot breaks, you cannot say, where is the water which I have collected in it? No, it's become one with the whole of water. Or like the space. We have confined the space with our building. We demolished this building to construct a new one. So the space has become one with outer space. Light outside light. Now I take a candle. If it is dark here, candle is of great importance. Candle light is very important. It shows us everything. It reveals everything in this room. Supposing I take the candle out, what happens? The candle light gets absorbed in the vaster light. It becomes insignificant. It becomes one with. You just cannot say, is there light? The light has become one with the outer light. In the same way, the little light which is working in the way, which is holding this whole body mind together, just goes off. It becomes one with it. This is the wonderful, exalted experience. This is how in the Upanishads also we come across. When all the agents are dissolved, the sage enters nirvishesham. See, in the Mundaka Upanishad we read, Ethanadhya Sandhyamana Samudre Stam Gachanti Nama Rupe Vihaya. The name and form is gone. The spirit becomes one with the spirit. As the flowing river disappears in the ocean, quitting name and form, so the knower, being liberated from the name and forms, attains divine spirit higher than the high. Because the Atman is very high. Compared to the body and mind, our spirit is truly great. It becomes one with the greater light. As I said, greater light. So he becomes one with the all-pervading consciousness. Yeah. The nature of Brahman, whose realization is freedom, is discussed in this few more subsequent verses. Yallabhana paro labham, yat sukhana param sukham, yat jnana na param jnanam, tad brahmeti avadharaye. Realize that to be Brahman, the attainment of which leaves nothing more to be attained, the blessedness of which leaves no more bliss to be desired, and the knowledge of which leaves nothing more to be known. This is the greatest attainment, the very purpose of our birth in this psychophysical organism. In this body we have come. Because for enjoyment, sense pleasures, other bodies are there. No one enjoys a meal in such a gusto as a pig or a swine enjoys. No, we don't. However hungry we may be, however foodies we may be, still we don't enjoy in that gusto. That's how an animal enjoys. And certainly all other pleasures. No human being, I do not know, it's not in my knowledge. Anyway, so the human body is for something higher, the scripture tells us. And highest is realization of the self. Why? Because artha, kama, even dharma, these values are instrumental end. But moksha, which is of the nature of freedom, is an intrinsic end. And you have been having it all the time. You are free. You are not to be free. You are already free. You are not attaining something. Anything that is attained, we will certainly lose at a certain period of time. Anything you gain, that will be lost. It may not be available for you to enjoy, or you may not be there to enjoy them. Either of them. But that which is your intrinsic, your very nature, there's no fear of losing it. You always, only thing is that we had not given enough attention to it. We have been always having it. It's just that non-attention to it is the reason. So moksha itself is release. It's ever attained. And it's your very own nature. So that is the highest gain as human beings. We should be very fortunate that we have got this human body. This is the only gateway through which we can get our release. I always compare human body to the Jallianwala Bagh, those walls, a huge wall. I've mentioned many a time. Huge wall with a very, very narrow passage. Huge wall. It was before 1945, I think, in Amritsar. It's very near to the Amritsar temple. So there was a big prayer meeting. Thousands were there. It's park within. That's strange, amazing park. It doesn't have any other exit, just one exit. Come and go. People have to come to that, people have to go to that. And 50,000 people might be there in that. And that one exit was blocked by General Dyer. And they were just off. So, big massacre, huge number of people had died. So I always feel that we are all in that Jallianwala Bagh Park. This whole universe is like a Jallianwala Bagh Park with a small passage called the psychophysical organism which a human being is endowed with. Nature has kept only one small exit. In no other creation, in no other species, do you have this capacity to observe yourself as subject. Every animal has only objective knowledge. It never can think its subjective way. Only a human being. It is the uniqueness. This is the blessedness of human body. Hence, the realization of the self is the highest gain, gaining which one can easily prove. It needs no explanation that this is the greatest gain and greatest happiness. Happiness too. Shankara says, and the Upanishad says, there is no happiness in alpa, in limited, finite. Happiness is always in infinite, in the bigger. And commenting on the Shankara says, there is no happiness in what is small, because what is small only causes longing for what is more. You get something, one more, more. This craving goes on. And this craving, this longing is a source of misery. And what is the source of misery? Verily is not happiness. For example, a person has fever. Fever is not a very pleasurable state, a happy state. Not to get rid of. This longing, this craving for happiness is a disease, is a fever. Nididhyasana jwara. He said, get rid of this fever and come out. Krishna says in the Bible. So it's a disease. So disease is never a happy state. Hence, what is small can never bring us happiness. Sri Krishna says, cheetah putta. You know, you dip your hand in the water and just sprinkle like this on the hot pan. It is not even sprinkling like this with your finger all along. Just a fraction of a second. Straight. So such is the happiness, duration of the happiness, the scriptures tell us. Why do they tell us? So that the mind will learn to discriminate, to analyze, and to give up unnecessary hoarding of happiness. This will bring happiness. No. Bought it. No. After some time, it has lost interest. Something else is glamorous is drawing. So this is what we see that. Hence, there is no other happiness than this. And knowledge. And we all have studied in the Mundaka Upanishad. Knowledge is of two types. The higher knowledge and lower knowledge. Lower knowledge is concerning the phenomenon. Higher knowledge is concerning the absolute. It's knowledge, absolute itself is knowledge. The akshara, the realization of the imperishable is the higher knowledge. Why? Lower knowledge is, phenomenon knowledge is lower knowledge because it has a distinction of knower, known, knowledge. This distinction is there. Whereas the absolute knowledge, Brahma doesn't admit such differences. There is no such thing of knower, knowledge. What knowledge is knowledge. I become knowledge itself, consciousness itself. Brahmavi, Brahmaiva bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman itself. Nothing else. And then lower knowledge, it thrives on ignorance. Knowledge thrives on ignorance. There are persons who have got, once I had seen in social media, some 108 PhDs he's having, God knows. But still, he doesn't know the Atma. Nothing. No use. You do not know what yourself, and you are holder of PhD of 108 this thing. The same thing what Sanat Kumara, Narada came and said, Sanat Kumara, I have this list of knowledge what he has acquired, he said. Then Sanat Kumara just in one thing he just threw away, said, no, you have nothing, you have known nothing. These are all limited knowledge. That akshara is the ultimate. And joy. And he said, Narada says, with all this, I'm not happy. That's the thing. Has it brought you fulfillment? No. So many holders, PhD holder, maybe. But when he is hungry, there's nothing to eat because he doesn't know how to cook. See? Simple thing. And we look down upon food. Foodies. So what will you eat? Will you eat your certificates? No, that won't fill. When you are hungry, you need to have a meal. And you should know to provide for yourself. Never be dependent on anyone. Hence, all knowledge other than the self-knowledge is nothing. And Shankara is very famous at repeating. this is a bit of repetition, is yad drishtva na param drishyam, yad bhutva na punarbhavam, yad jnatva na param gneyam, tad brahmetyavatarye. Realize that to be Brahman, which, when seen, leaves nothing more to be seen. Having become which, one is not born again into the world of becoming, and which, when known, leaves nothing else to be known. The last one we have dealt it, but yadrishva naparam drishyam. This craving to see things, to go around, is terrible. Now you go anytime, you don't get the tickets. Why? They are all removed. We never would have got this COVID if people had learned to sit by themselves at home for some time. No. Go to the airport, crowded. All planes are full. No seat. So much. Everyone is getting out of themselves. This mad desire to go out and see, that will be quenched when one realizes one's true nature. And no more becoming, no more coming back to this world or to any world, if they are any. Nothing more. Because you have known the self. The knower of self becomes a self itself. Yad drishtva na param. Are you seeing the Brahman? Is Brahman perceivable? No. This perception doesn't mean an objective perception. It's Brahman intuition. The knowledge, the immediate knowledge that I am Brahman is so vivid, so clear that you know very well. That's it. I have broken the cage. No more birth. No more birth. I have broken the cage. And I will not create any more a new body. Because satisfaction finished. There is no more craving. So there is no need to have the same old experience. No kindergarten experience anymore. We have finished. We have been in this kindergarten all through the creations of creation. That's enough. No more. So now we are promoted. Tirya Gurdhamadha Purnam Satchidanandamadvayam Anandam Nityam Ekam Yat Tad Brahmetyavadharaye. Tirya Gurdhamadha Purnam. Spatial concepts are used in order to teach us that the distinction of space do not exist in Brahman. How to make an ordinary intellect like us to understand the vastness of the Brahman? That is why Atmabodha, realize that to be Brahman, which is existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, which is non-dual and infinite, eternal and one, and which fills all the quadrants and all that is above and below and all that exists. There is nothing left. Up and down, below, side, everywhere, wherever you see. In the language of a devotee, Yatra Yatra Nayan Pade, Yatra Krishna Spade. Wherever your eyes falls, there you see Krishna. And our God sees everywhere, the whole world. Vishnumayam Jagat, Krishnamayam Jagat, Ramamayam, Christmayam. Wherever Buddha consciousness is everywhere. That's it. Because that's already in him. He has realized himself to be. And what is within him? He sees that outside. You know? That's usually, that's how we take judge things. And in our Upanishads, we have got the same Mundaka Upanishad. A lot of things he has taken from Mundaka Upanishads. Verily, all this is immortal Brahman. Above, below, in front, at the back, on the right, on the left. It is everywhere. All this world is indeed the Supreme Brahman. Brahmaivedam Amritam Purastad Brahma Pashtad Brahma Brahma Dakshinashtottarin Adhashturdham Chaprasutam Brahmaivedam Vishramidam Varishtam, the Supreme Brahman. this whole universe is. The thing is, the ultimate cause of the whole world, our thoughts, our feelings, is nothing but Brahman. In a pot, mud pot, the mud is on the top, the below, in the side, everywhere. In short, the pot is nothing but mud. From mud it came, in mud it stays, and to mud it goes off when it is destroyed. So the mud is the cause and mud is the effect. The mud, the pot cannot be nothing but mud. In the same way, this whole universe is nothing but Brahman. If you see something as different, it is only due to ignorance. Constant, that's what I told you in the beginning, constantly we are powered by the reality, truth. We are embraced. We are within the warmth. We are really basking in its warmness. Yet we don't recognize. It's only our foolishness. That's all. अतद्व्यावृत्तिरूपेण वेदान्तर्यक्षते द्वयम् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत्. Realize that to be Brahman, which is non-dual, indivisible, one and blissful, and which is indicated by Vedanta as the irreducible substratum after the negation of all tangible objects. Non-dual. Advayam, one without the second. So the Brahman does not admit any difference as subject-object, I and you, multiplicity, with its own or with a dissimilar, anything. Absolutely, there is one homogeneous entity. That's it. And consciousness and bliss. These three go together. They are not qualities. They are the very stuff with the very nature of Brahman. That which exists, that is always conscious, awareness, and that which is awareness is always blissful. These three are one and the same reality. That is why, say, one conscious, all-pervading entity. What is all-pervading entity? What does that mean? So it is not something dull, dead matter. Like space, when I say space, no one is happy with it. What's the space is there, space is there. But it doesn't bring something positive happiness. To mention that Brahman is not like that something important. That is why bliss, Khandananda, infinite bliss is been mentioned. So Vedanta, this is indicated by Vedanta, that is through the process of negation, and it is found only in Vedanta. This type of analysis coming to the subjective reality in a negative way, you will not find it anywhere in the world, in any thought, nowhere in the world except Vedanta. This much only the claim Vedanta makes its claim, that's all. The truth, as far as truth is concerned, it doesn't deny. But the process in which you attain it, that's the only way. If not, everything becomes limited by subject to limitation of space, time, and causation. But something which is beyond it, it can be realized or analyzed or whatever you can say, you imputed only in a negative way. That is what and the ultimate what is irreducible substratum, that is the supreme reality. And we don't have much time. Akhandananda rupasya tasyandalavashritaha brahmadyataratamyena bhavanti anandinokhilaha. Deities like Brahma and others taste only a particle of the unlimited bliss of Brahman and enjoy in proportion their shares of that particle, that infinite. How to make us understand the bliss So in a calculative way, in business-like way, the Upanishad tries to help us. See, in a big company, the CEOs, managing board members, they tell in the meeting that we are going to demolish or extend this building, and so this is the budget we have got, and we are thinking of giving three months bonus to our employees and all that. A big list what they are going to make. When that is told, naturally the householders will raise their brows and they will vote so that it is not made. But this is an example a great teacher had told. I liked it, so I'm mentioning. Supposing the roads, they say, no, all this items what we have said, expenditure, it just comes up to 2% of the profit which we have made. This the profit we have made, out of that 2% is only what we are spending on all this which you think it is unnecessary. So 98% of the profit is going to you only. So that is how this Upanishad is trying to, this verse is trying to help us. Just to comprehend how infinite, how vast is your bliss, your nature, blissful nature, is explained. Even the gods like Brahma enjoy only an infinitesimal part. Lava, small, lavalesha, very little of it they are enjoying. So depending upon, you go to the ocean, take a big barrel, so you get a barrel of water. You take a bucket, you get a bucket of water. You take a small cup, you get a small. So depending upon your capacity, you can draw the bliss. So it depends upon that even gods enjoy only that small particle of that joy. That infinite joy is within you. It's what the Upanishad is saying. So you are the recipient. That's why Swamiji is the heirs of immortal bliss. Swamiji called us Amritasya Putraha. That is there. And why beg? Why take the begging ball to the senses? To something to touch, something to see, something to enjoy, something to smell. We are like beggars taking the begging ball. When abundance is there around us, and abundance is there within us. Tadyuktam akhilam vastu vyavaharat tadanvidah tasmat sarvagatam brahma kshire satpirivakhile. All the objects are pervaded by Brahman. All actions are possible because of Brahman. Therefore, Brahman permeates everything. As Bodha permeates unity. So whatever is real in this phenomenal world, that is Brahman, the substratum. And when the all-pervading Brahman is of this nature, how can anything be escape its blessedness, its blessed touch? So we are immersed in that infinite bliss. And all our thoughts, our mind, our intellect, everything is illumined by that consciousness. Where is your precious Brahman, Brahman, Brahman? 1 hour you have been talking, Mataji. Where is it? All I can, at last the teacher gets tired and he keeps quiet. I have been explaining you Brahman. You are the Brahman. If you do not realize it, what am I to do? All I can do is I can only give you a hint. Somebody asked Sri Ramakrishna, sir, can you teach me that Samadhi in 15 days? In 15 days he must. And 15 yugas you may take to perfect yourself in order to. And the man wants to learn Samadhi in 15 days so that he will have infinite bliss. Yes, you can if you can deny. If you can deny all the obstacles that are in your way to your infinitude. If you have, that's the only one that has to be done. Anyway, so this verse 50, in the verse 53 when we learned before, it had spoken of about the supreme happiness. And now that is being elaborated in this. Whatever the world reflects is just the little bit happiness of that. So we are constantly pervaded by it, by this infinite reality, just like, but still we are not aware of it. But apart from Brahman, nothing has value. Even the appearance, it can't stand. Without the substrate, nothing can stand. So everything depends upon the substrate. Everything gets its value because of it. This we have got to understand. And why? When that is removed, it's nothing but a zero. But such a reality, how is it that it is not evident? That has been explained. Just like butter permeates the milk. None can deny that there is butter in the milk. But still, we do not see the butter. But butter permeates the milk. But there is a technique. You have to work on it. How to get it. So you have to churn the milk to get the butter. And for that, you need to sit quietly. You keep shaking. Ram Krishna says, you set the milk and then start doing a little bit and running around, doing something else and coming. You can't do that. You have to sit and give time for it. And then you will get, after a long time, the butter will float and it separates. The water is separated and the butter is there. In the same way, meditation. Stop unnecessary activities. Nothing. There are obstacles. Stop unnecessary activities and contemplate on one's true nature. In that way, one will be able to get the butter of one's true nature. Last one. Oh, this is in a negative way. The true nature of yours is trying to hurt. Yeah. See, all this is made to made or explained in a way for us to understand what is Brahman. Brahman is something which is not this. Brahman is something which is not. This is Brahman, once it becomes an object. So you cannot point out, but you can remove all that is not Brahman, and what remains is Brahman. That is the way. Ananvastulam Haswam Adhirgam Adam Avyayam Arupa Gunavarnakyam Tad Brahmetyavadharaye. Realize that to be Brahman, which is neither subtle, nor gross, neither short, nor long, without birth and change, without form, qualities, or color. I think there is nothing that I think called as Brahman. When we see all this, it's so hard to comprehend because our minds can only understand those things which are come within the relative world, within time and space and causation. Whatever comes within this, only that our mind is able. All the finite objects in the world are surrounded by these three, either gross or subtle. But Brahman is beyond space, time, and causation. Hence, it's very hard to comprehend. What is born is not Brahman. The body is born, the body dies. The mind grows, the intellect becomes vast. But Brahman is vastness itself. Hence, the Brahman is the very substratum of the progenitor of the universe. Chaturmukha Brahma, the creator. He is the reality of that. Hence, this Brahman is the irreducible reality. It cannot become the object of a perception or a themes. Language has its limitation. It can describe only those things that have guna, qualities, kriya, functions, nama, name, qualities, vishesha, sambandha, relations. So these are the things. Qualities, function, name, qualifications, and relations. Anything within this language functions. Anything beyond this, the language is useless. That is why it is called as intuition, mysticism, where you become mum, you don't speak. Language fails to express. If you ask a dumb person, how does honey taste? Poor fellow, how will he explain? All actions. So many things he will and make you know, understanding crazy and very nice and smile and do, making us to understand that it is very sweet and delicious. That's all. The scriptures are like this. What is Brahman? All these 9 verses tried its best to teach us. So the Gita says, Ashcharyavat pashyati kaschidena, Ashcharyavat vadati tataiva chanya, Ashcharyavashtayam anyashrunu, Shrutva prinam vedam pashyati. With great surprise, people look at it. And with great surprise, they explain like me. Like with great surprise, they listen like you people. But after all that, nothing is entering in the head. We remain what we are. So anyway, still, it is better to know. Sometimes it will help us. Thank you.
So we've got
Okay.
time now for questions, discussion.
But in verse 59 that you talked about, it implies that there's an endpoint, and 53, not 59. And it seems to imply that there's an endpoint to the journey, but in reality, it appears to me that it's only an endpoint regarding your own individuality, right? Because once you realize you become one with something else, or you identify with something bigger, right? It's whereas reading it, it seems to be the perception that there's some endpoint to something.
Realizing that to be Brahman, the attainment of which is nothing more to be attained.
Yeah, and so, but in reality, it's only when you confine those ideas to the idea of individuality.
No, it is an immediate experience. It's an immediate experience. Once when you attain the very core of your being, when you, how to say, understanding is the word which we use in order to understand, to explain it. But it is an immediate experience. I'm saying. So there is no mediation of the mind or intellect. It's an anubhuti, experience. When you experience that, immediately you will understand that you're full. This is Vedya, as you said, it is a personal feeling. It is only known to you. You might have certain striving for the maintenance of your psychophysical organism. You can go stay in the road just because you have become an Atman, all-pervading entity. So you need a shelter. So all your endeavors, whatever you are doing in the phenomenal world, you will understand that's not for you. Actually, you can be even without that. But so the attainment, the immediate attainment is so profound that some big loss has happened to you, you will not even, you will just ignore it. You will take it so easy. Other people might would have suffered in that case. But whereas because of the virtue of your experience, you have overcome. So that attainment is very, very personal, immediate, and profound.
Just that it felt like when you described it, once you have this knowledge, that's it, you know?
But you don't need anything else. For your sake, you may not need anything. You're all full. A sense of purnata, fulfillment comes. You have no need for it. Look, we haven't realized. For all the practical purposes, we are not realized persons, suddenly. But we don't have any want, need. Yeah, we need to live in this society. We have to pay our bills. We have to pay our insurance. For all that, we need money. That's all it is. But personally, you ask me, no, I have no need of anything. That sense, if even an intellectual conviction of one's true nature can give you that much boldness, that much strength, what to speak of the realization of it? So there is a complete fulfillment in this experience. Absolutely. You will not consider anything greater than that. Just a little tiny bit, a small story. One of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciple was doing tapasya and a retreat. A poor Brahmin, very Brahmins are always poor. Anyway, so came to him and he came to him and saluted him and looked at him. This man, this Sanatan Goswami, I don't know, maybe Rup Goswami, somewhere. He saw him. Look, just go a little bit ahead and take a turn. You can see there are lots of sand. There's a heap there. You just dig it. You will get something. The man ran. Oh, here is something, treasure is there. So he went there and he took a turn and he saw there are lots of soil, and so he dug a particular place which he said, and he found such a wonderful precious stone, emerald. And he was surprised. And then he took it, he looked at it, he was first impression, he was so happy. No more want with this. Being a Brahmin, and I'm not telling the birth Brahmin, he was truly a Brahmin who had worked on himself. The second thought came, what is it that this monk has got that has made him to part with this, which he doesn't feel this is great and he is ready to ask him to take it? So he comes back and keeps the precious stone at his feet. Please give me that wealth, gaining which you can even ignore this great wealth. I would like to have that wealth, gaining which you can part with this as an ordinary something. So you give me that. The man had done some spiritual practices, had some subtlety of the mind, a certain purity of the mind, so he could understand. For a person to get something higher, to give something best, he must have got something really, really greatest of all. So because he had God himself with him, nothing is greater than that. So he could ask the poor man to take it. So the man was intelligent enough to refuse and claim that knowledge, that treasure, that truth, gaining which everything becomes insipid, worthless, of utter insignificance. Have I explained, make you understand what I'm thinking?
Yes.
I think in the 57 or 58, there is written that the Brahma and the Brahman both are looks like a separate, because in that one it said the Brahman is enjoyed by the Brahma and the Indra according to their
capacity.
so is it the Brahma and Brahman is separate or is
Yes,
it one?
yeah. Brahman is an
It's an
infinite
experience.
reality. It's an experience, personal experience, infinite consciousness, infinite existence, consciousness, bliss, joy, which pervades everything, which permeates even the space, which is permeates the space. Everything is pervaded by the space, and Brahman pervades even space. So that infinite, just to get an idea that even created Brahma enjoys only a small amount of, very small, lava, tiny bit of it. That has made him the creator of the universe. And that infinite bliss is in your heart, within your heart. You hold that precious.
I think it was 59, you said that language has limitations and a dumb person couldn't describe the taste of honey. I think even with all the words you can think of, trying to describe the taste of honey would be limited. I just think of a friend of my brother's who's actually has bees for various reasons, and so he has his own honey. And every batch of honey is completely different because of where the bees have been. And I think they're fabulous honeys, but asked me to explain the taste of all of the different kinds of honey. Forget it. You've got to taste it.
Yeah. Best thing is you taste.
Yeah, the taste explains everything with words.
Everything is, it's just. What's the point of reading a menu book card or a menu book or the recipe book? You have to prepare the food, eat, relish, and feel content. So that is what Polymatha says. Everything is in the pantry. All the items are there in the pantry. People are so lazy to go and eat. And eat some junk food. And thereby get diseases. No, this is how everything is there in the scriptures. How to discern, how to detach, how to meditate, how to deal with people, how to feel in what angle you have to look at the world. Everything is taught in the scriptures. Everything is there. All we need to is practice them. The practicing is cooking, kitchen. The pantry is the scripture. Scriptures are the pantry. Everything is there. And we have to, that will not fill a stomach. It has only raw materials. You have to. And when everything is done, there, that fulfillment comes. Yes. Only thing is, when you cook, you eat the food, when you start meditating, all your mind and intellect start becoming finer and finer and finer and finer. One fine day, they dissolve. And once they are gone, the truth alone exists. You alone exist. This is what.
Just on that, the cooking, and you've got the recipes and doing all that. I was just thinking that there's videos of how to build model aeroplanes, and they're detailed and instructive on how to do this and how to do that. So I do that. When I go, well, back on that didn't work the way they're showing it. It's a starting point, and I think it's repetitive practicing and fiddling and adjusting gets me to where I can get that airbrush to work, and I can know what I've got to do with the paint and thin it and all that and get it to work properly. And that may not be what somebody else has said, you've got to do this.
Yeah.
Because for them, it's working that way. For me, it's going to work slightly differently for various reasons, which sometimes I don't understand. So it's a matter of adjusting. So in spiritual life, it will be the same.
Yes, because we bring certain amount of experiences with us.
Yes.
The teacher tells us, gives us the instruction, but each one of us take it along with our existing experiences.
So that there's this
So that will be there.
So there's these small matters of adjustment for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is why spiritual experiences are unique. Unique. Because each one of us are unique. Because each one of us have our own stock of experience, what we have brought. When you tell a child a story, it just doesn't listen. It adds something to it. What it has brought, it interprets according to what it has been with that. So its interpretation is different. When we were children, they used to conduct some classes and all that. So they would tell us a story, and the person has to repeat that story, tell that story to the other person, and then that story will be told to them. So 50 persons it will go, and finally the last person will tell the story, entirely the story is different.
Oh, yeah.
That's how the rumors spread and all that, and that's how the concepts change, and that's how you put your ideas into it and make something out of it. This happens, but as far as truth is concerned, it isn't to that extent it will not go, but then still individual mind, and that is why we are working on it according to the instructions of the scriptures, so that we bring some consistent meaning. Like that. But that's why Swami Vivekananda says, no one jacket for everybody. Tom, Dick and Harry have to wear the same jacket. If it doesn't fit in, so they have to go without a jacket. That's not with spirituality, with Vedanta. There are lots of each one as individually. We are all independent, free. We are unique in ourselves. The infinite are the paths. That's what Sri Ramakrishna said. Jatoma, as in the paths, so many ways. So individual, everyone. But if we are sincere and we have put the right effort, the result is bound to come. But when you express it, it will be different. Because when it comes to the expression, again back you are to your mind, and you will express them in that color. But experience is concerned, it's the same. Expressions may be different. All the difference is only the expression, not in the experience. In order to express it, you have to come back to the world of ideas. Again, the mind has come back, and you can only express it according to the content of the mind. The culture, tradition, all this involves, and that's how we interpret it. That's why they look so different. But when it goes to the experience, it's the same. You may call Shial, you may call Jackal, but they all howl alike. Sri Ramakrishna said, all jackals howl alike. The name of the jackal may be different in different languages, but their howling is same. So, that's it. So, okay, thank you then.
Friday night we had the monthly Vedanta book club discussions. That will be led by Pravrajika. Next Sunday, we have a very special celebration, the Bodha celebration. Talks by Sareka Sen and Dr. Panji. Madhu Sen will be here with a group of musicians and singers. We'll have a flower offering ceremony to Durban, led by the nuns. And you're invited to bring some sweets or savouries to offer. You're welcome to do that. Also next Sunday, there'll be the monthly Gita class via Microsoft Teams in the evening from 8 to 9 p.m. So thanks to attending today, long weekend. A few people are away on holidays. Thank you to those who joined us via Zoom as well. See you next week.